It's no secret of why most people skip leg day. It's hard. It's hard and you're sore and it affects your daily life. You can't work, you can't climb upstairs, you can't squat down, you can't pick things up. You're simply sore. Probably adductors kill people the most. It affects everything. And so people are like, you know what? I wear jeans most of the time anyway. I don't wear shorts anyway. So let me skip the legs and just work on my upper body. That's kind of going to give me the aesthetic look anyway. How many people truly feel that big legs are aesthetic? Not many, right? And so the vast majority of the population that goes to the gym just doesn't really care about legs like that anyway. I get that bit. I have not skipped legs for a long time, but what I have skipped is core for months, like half a year at a time. Obviously, when you're training squats and deadlifts, you are training your core, just by bracing against the heavy weights that we move, you're using your core. Today was a core day for me, and I did 2 exercises. I did the side bends with a dumbbell, and I did my sit-ups. And I'm not kidding you when I tell you this, man. This is the hardest day of the week for me. It absolutely zaps my soul. I'm so fatigued already. It's not even the following day. I am just run down. Obviously, the other stuff that I'm doing also takes takes stuff out of the tank of energy. Yesterday, the day before, all that stuff matters. I understand that. I'm not saying this is the only expenditure that I have. It's not. But man, the CNS fatigue from doing core is crazy. And obviously, deadlifts are really, really heavy on the core as well. And this is why we're so CNS drained after deadlifts, because it is the most core demanding thing that we do. It's so heavy on the lower back, and therefore it's so heavy on the anterior core and the bracing and all that. So that kind of zaps you. But then if you take sit-ups and all this other stuff that I did today for core, then you're like, okay, this is directly affecting it. So I'm not bracing like I'm bracing, for squats and deadlifts, but this is just, it's so hard. And so if you were to think to yourself, what are the exercises that people miss in the gym on purpose? They're not very fun at all. I would say legs and core. Nobody ever skips chest. Nobody ever skips back. Like, those are the aesthetic groups. When you see big chest, big shoulders, big back, that guy works out, right? And that's on display most of the time, right? But legs are just difficult, man. It's so hard to freaking squat. It's hard to deadlift. Lower back injuries, knee injuries. There's so much freaking going on. It's like Snap City galore every time you try to lift. And then on top of that, you're freaking walking around sore for your whole life. You can't pick anything up off the ground. You're just drained all the time. So you remove legs and core out of it, you are probably going to be pretty fresh, and you're probably going to be very well able to recover for the upper body movements, like we're doing bench press and pull-ups and all that kind of stuff. It just occurred to me. I'm like, man, okay, I never skip legs. I kind of fell in love with training for this reason, for squats. So that's kind of my biased, drive to come to the gym. But core? Like, seriously, how many people in the gym actually think about core in a productive manner and think to themselves, okay, I want to actively chase core? I think most people that go to the gym are motivated by the aesthetics. Most people. I'm not saying all people. Most people are. And for the people that are interested in strength, well, the argument is, well, I'm already squatting and deadlifting. Why the hell should I be doing core? And trust me, I've been part of that camp as well. For a long time, I believe that freaking hell, man, you're squatting 180, 200, 210, 220 230, 240, whatever your level are, you are doing plenty of freaking core exercises. Core work. But there's more to it. There's more to it. There's more to it. And so you can get it better. And so many people that I've ever, some of the best people that I've followed and listened to, man, they talk about core like it's on top of the list. Top of their list. You want to have a big deadlift, man, you got to train core. You can't just deadlift and expect to have a strong core. Of course, core is going to get trained immensely with deadlifts. But you can do it, accessories, kind of like I'm saying with bench press and squats. There are accessories that make your life easier when you go back to that primary movement. But it's just so freaking costly with core, man, And obviously, like I'm, 2 weeks in now, maybe three weeks in now of doing core as a, like a dedicated day for it. And, maybe I'm going to get to a level where I get, with legs every day that I do. It's like now I'm not as sore as somebody that does legs once a week or whatever, So maybe it's going to calm down a little bit, but man, the fatigue, the lethargy that you feel. Like I'm walking around, I can feel my obliques, I can feel my ribs, man. Those side bends, I don't even know what freaking muscle that is. Serratus anterior, maybe. Muscles are running my ribs are sore, man. And so, like, you're walking around, you want to get off the couch, you're like, oh my God, I got to do a sit-up, But yeah. And funnily enough, that stuff, legs, the stuff that people like to skip, it's the hardest work, but it's the most beneficial. At least in my mind, for what I'm trying to do. It's probably not as aesthetically pleasing as, the midsection is probably the most pleasing. But then somebody will say, oh no, if you do heavy core, you're going to get a blocky core. You don't want that. So there's all sorts of like ideas around training your core, but not really wanting that muscle to get thicker. At least the obliques, because then you look blocky and you lose that V shape, V taper. Anyway, none of that concerns me. I just want to move some weight, man. I want to feel strong and I want to have a strong lower back. And that's pretty much it. Appreciate you, fellas. I will catch you in the next one. Peace out.